A great record here at Virginia International Raceway, and we've got a long way to go. 2 hours and 40 minutes here is a long way. Carroll Shelby once said, one lap around VIR is like 6 at Watkins Glen. Gives you an idea of the intensity. Green flag, Babindum waves the green. We are racing and cars out of line already. That could be a problem. Officials are going to look at it and think about this. Look at the jump that the BMW has gotten. We're going to find out real quickly if you're behaving or not, because if there's contact, the race officials have said we're going to jump on it.
Neil Verhagen picks up from where he left off at Road America in the lead of the race, trying to make it 2 in a row. Paul Miller Racing going for 3 straight here at VIR.
Little touch, a little rub right there, and you see the 9 moving over to try to block the 65. This is what the drivers were warned about early on, not leaving racing room. We'll have to see what the officials say about this as the 12 moves to the outside. Contact signage, I believe, up in the air.
Two of the Mustangs off. I think Vivishma had gone for a ride, and then in the backdrop, the silver Mustang, Alton, he goes off the racetrack as well. So much for the drivers' meeting, trying to lay down the law.
Marco Mappelli aboard the number 9, the Lamborghini of FAF Motorsports, really aggressive there, trying to close the door. We'll have to see if the officials say anything about that. But Mappelli really involved on trying to squeeze that Mustang to the outside. Take a look.
Take another look. This is as they enter the snake. Just too many cars trying to coexist on a narrow piece of the racetrack. You see the WeatherTech signage go flying, stays off the racetrack. This is on board Onofrio Triazzi, who qualified 3rd in GTD. Look how close it is here. Hawksworth elbows his way through. Vivis goes for a ride over the curb. And as he comes back on racetrack, you see the chaos behind him.
I really don't think it was Hawksworth. I think it was Mappelli that really kind of started the entire thing. So early on, there's pushing and shoving. What did the race director say, and what did the drivers hear? Moves to the outside, contact signage, I believe, up in the air.
Two of the Mustangs off. I think Vivishma had gone for a ride, and then in the backdrop, the silver Mustang, Alton, he goes off the racetrack as well.
As we take a look at what exactly happened to Freddie Vervish.
Mappelli just kind of forces him out to the outside. And once he's out there, Hawksworth slides up the inside. He has nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think that was just racing action. I mean, I don't think there'll be any consequences on that one.
But we are restarting. BMWs up front. See if things calm down a little bit here on this restart. We talked about the championship leader in GTD early on. Bryce Ward started 2nd. He's back at 7th in the GTD field.
Yeah, Russell Ward again putting a tremendous qualifying performance, qualifying 2nd in class right behind the pro, Jack Hawksworth. As Hawksworth and Parker Thompson switch things up a little bit here for the qualifying run in the sprint race. Typically it's Thompson who qualifies the car, but they recognize track position here at VIR is so important.
Here's a look at that incident as they go down the back straightaway into 14.
Yeah, and it's really tough to coexist. It's a really tricky brake zone. You see Gallagher there kind of driver's right, and he kind of arches into the middle of the road. Alton kind of gets up on the curb and just kind of gets into the side of Gallagher, but yeah, and it makes it tricky when you get to the middle part of this race and you start to get those marbles offline to make a move around the outside. Here is a problem for Ori Fidani. No, it's actually Brendan O'Reilly aboard the Ferrari. Yellow livery, similar. He's got one of those WeatherTech boards. Maybe you can find a safe piece of the racetrack. There's actually an alternative pit lane as you come out of Oak Tree. He could maybe go over there and just hit the brake and see if he can lose that. Otherwise, he's losing really critical air to the front radiator grill there.
Well, the other thing I'd be worried about is it sliding underneath the right front tire and losing steering. As he comes off the corner, he needs to go to that lane right. He can go to the pit lane right there, and he missed it.
Yeah, he's trying to just use
it's not gonna
violent steering there to get rid of it, but the downforce that's being generated by plowing down this straightaway at 160 is just pinning it to the nose, Chris.
Yeah, Calvin, just as you guys were talking about, they told him best opportunity down the back straightaways. You see it now fly off the right front. So job well done, but almost ran out of time because they didn't want to get to the roller coaster with that thing on the front end. But job well done as that car finally gets rid of that banner.
It's lucky that it came off top of the screen. You see where he picks it up as he's going through the snake, just gets it wrong. Such a rhythm section, very much like the climbing S's. Off the racetrack, Klaus Bachler had an issue, some debris in the radiator, not nearly anything like we've seen if you go off in some of the really grassy areas. So let's see if we can find out the problem for Bachler. Coming through 2, into 3.
I think he Katzberg here just gets to the power. Runs that wide, Nicky Katzberg. Oh, he was trying to make a move here on Katzberg. Katzberg dropped the wheel. Buckler's through, and did he get a little bump there? I heard something.
I heard it.
Did he get some help? Now, we talk about Katzberg, the 77 has typically been Heinrich that he's got involved with throughout the course of the season, but this is his teammate Buckler behind the wheel. Take a look, tails away here as they go through turn 5.
That one's kind of hard to call. You're side by side coming off a left-hander, going into a right-hander. Where is Nicky Katzberg supposed to go?
Yeah, but the way they've called it so far today, Brian, I talk about consistency. There's not a lot different to what Hawksworth got for his call, and now that incident is under review. I believe it's Mike Rockefeller would have jumped on board that car, taken over from Sebastian Priaulx, who gets around Albert Costa there on pit lane. Here's the pass. Once you got the overlap, you get that right to exit pit lane in front of the leader in class.
Here's what just happens. Gets stacked up a little bit. It kind of throws it in there, the 81 does, and then 48's going to come back on him, but this is where the road goes back right, and he's not there far enough. I would think last year he would have stayed. Right now, he didn't. Let me ask you this.
I think 3 weeks ago he would have stayed.
This different look of the rules this weekend, obviously the following car, the one who's attempting the pass, changes your perception. But if you're in front, do you take a little more liberty with that? Close the door a little sooner, saying, what are you going to do? Hit me. And there's Mike through turn 1, right behind him, the 81 of Costa, and then Hesse and Snow there as well. You see a little debris on the outside of one. Somebody's mirror is out there, and it just shows you how close the racing has been. But we know from the get-go, it can't be too close. We've seen numerous penalties handed down for incident responsibility. The simple side of that is contact with another car. Let's see if we can find the owner of that bright green mirror that's out there. It indicates it's a GTD mirror.
Yeah, I think it's the right side of the Conquest racing machine.
Brian Hoy cleaning the grill, waiting on the fuel to pack in on that Corvette. Their teammate, Tommy Milner, had pitted directly behind. And the 48 car, trouble for the BMW. They're on fire.
Yeah, big problems there as he pulls off the racetrack. I'm not sure if that's grass that's packed up in there on the headers or not.
Importantly, caution is out. So for those drivers that just hit pit lane, they're going to pay them a huge dividend. So guys like Ellis and company, plus the 2 Corvettes, 81 just makes it in time. Great call there by Rick Mayer and the group there at Dragon Speed to get that job done.
Most of these teams have a wall of monitors on their pit box, and they're looking at our cameras. And I guarantee you, Rick Mayer saw that car pull off to the side and said, they're going yellow, pit, pit, pit.
Absolutely. Let's see if he plays that game. He needs pace from his teammate up front. There's a limit to what you can do. Costa has the work to do. He knows the championship leader is 2 cars in front of him. There you see him looking around in that white and blue Ferrari. Puts his nose down to the inside. To his flank sits Sebastian Priaulx. Now back aboard the 64 car, so a double driver change there for Multimatic today.
Costa needs to get by the 4. He needs to take the championship fight to Sims up front. Sims knows what he needs to do. Milner blocking into turn 4, closing the door a little bit. That's going to be acceptable, I would think, because it wasn't necessarily in move in response, just a slightly early turn, and what it did do was give about 2 car lengths to Alexander Sims aboard the number 3.
Reflect back on. Oh, big one here,
big.
45 car on fire. Danny Formel leaps from the car immediately.
Good to see him out of that Lamborghini so quickly. The car ablaze as it left the racetrack from all running away from it. Pulling that visor down, obviously some significant heat inside the cockpit. You see him shaking his hands, trying to get some cool air to it. And look at the trail. That is going to be fluid that was burning as he came out of there. And I don't know if it was a massive engine expiration that caused that fire, but it was huge, dramatic, from all out, helmet off, kind of rubbing his eyes a lot of times in these.
Hit the fire extinguisher button.
Yeah. A lot of times these GT drivers drive with their visor up, not closed, and he is out. He needs water in his eyes. Needs water for his face. You can hear him calling to the safety crew. I think you may be right. Both the combination of fire and that fire extinguisher. And once again, AMR Track Services team there immediately. The medical car is there doing what they are trained to do. Really, really scary moments.
Yeah, this is really wild. I mean, fortunately, it was not the driver's side up against those tires. That's when it really worries you. I mean, yes, you can get across to the passenger side door, but that takes extra time. So the fact that he went in on this side, not the other, Brian,
it's huge,
really
yeah.
critical in him getting out of that car quickly.
I've never seen fire like that, and the way it went up. I mean, it's almost like there was an explosion inside the engine compartment. That's what makes me think it was an engine problem from all with the medical services team. That AMR rapid response vehicle right there, up and over the fence. The workers go to take care of him. And you heard Danny saying, I need water for my face. He was shaking his hands as well, trying to get some fresh air to them, and it's great to see him up. He's going to walk back, pick up his helmet and gloves, but that is huge. Thumbs up.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Look at that. That's like fuel. That doesn't look like oil to me.
I said, yeah, I think it's fuel line, Brian. Yeah, unfortunately, like we said, he's able to get out of this car really quickly. You could see that his helmet is already scorched in just the few moments we're looking at this race car.
Look how fast he gets out. It was great to see. This was the best thing in the world you could see, and you could tell it was extremely hot inside the car. That's an understatement with the fire that we saw on board from the 36 up ahead a fair distance. Look at that.
Just under braking there for the roller coaster, all erupts.
That is, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen cars have fires after impacts and things like that. He was just in the braking zone and it literally just exploded.
Yeah. If he was quick enough to get that fire extinguisher set off, that is really quick reactions by him and to get out of the race car. And again, just hate to even think about it if the car had gone in the other way in terms of him getting out of that car quickly.
Tell you what, he was thinking the visor is closed. There he is walking to the ambulance. The visor was closed when he got out of the car, which tells me his mind was working well throughout that deal. Fire in the cockpit, close my visor, pull the fire extinguisher button, get out of the car as quickly as I can. Great to see Danny Framal out of that 45 Lamborghini for Wayne Taylor Racing. Drama at Virginia International Raceway.
Yeah, I absolutely love the endurance races, and you know, it's going to be our last endurance race at Indy, unfortunately, but looking forward to Road America next year. And then, you know, at Petit Le Mans, you know, I just absolutely love that race. It's one of those races where we haven't ever done particularly well. We've been in podium contention there, but we've never actually capitalized. So, you know, I think this could be our year, especially if we have the race car that we have now going into the final race of the year.
Right now in the championship, the 27 up front. Look at this.
Here we go.
Side by
Costa's
side.
got that side position with Tommy Milner and makes it stick. Brilliant move by Albert Costa. Can he go down and chase that leader?
Corvette Racing, though, looking for their 117th IMSA class win. Most importantly, first win in 2025, and they'll do it in front of the 81, their nearest competitor in the championship. Alexander Sims behind the wheel. His 8th IMSA class win, and the number 3 Corvette takes the win at VIR and perhaps gives them just a little bit of breathing room in the championship. Ellis, one more corner to go for another GTD win for Windward Racing. Would be their 11th in IMSA Racing. Philip Ellis looking for his 11th win. Russell Ward standing by on the pit box on the wall. Congratulations to Windward. They take the victory at Virginia International Raceway, and Philip Ellis controlled the latter half of that race.
Beautifully managed. Certainly had a lot of heat from behind some really fast race cars, but I think he just timed the restart perfectly, just gapped the GTD Pro field a little bit so he didn't have to trip over those guys. That was really a key to victory, I think. Otherwise, he'd have had his hands full.
6 drive-through penalties handed down by race control today, including the drive-through equivalent for the 78 car of Mario Farnbacher that was handed down for blocking late in the going. But
And Antonio, I looked up at one point, you had your head down on the pit box. How nervous the final laps?
Yeah, I prefer to drive than being up there, but knowing how well Alex drives every time. I mean, I was very nervous but confident at the same time. So yeah, really, really good race. It really paid out. All the beginning of the race, we jumped everyone, and yeah, I mean, I think we had really good race pace for sure. So yeah, very glad for all the Team Chevy community. I think we really deserve that. We've been chasing this win for a year, last year here, and yeah, let's keep on moving and winning more races.
And Antonio Garcia becomes the all-time winner here at VIR. And Alexander Sims, talk about just the brilliant execution from on top of the box with the strategy from the get-go, but also you behind the wheel to keep that 81 back there.
Well, I mean, I was just doing my job, you know. Antonio did a fantastic first stint. Team called a great strategy. We went aggressive on that first stop to try and force a situation, and it seemed to work. We were able to just about hold the gap, I think, to the BMW, who had a significant fuel advantage on us, had it stayed green. But then, yeah, also we were fortunate with that yellow. But I mean, I think we had just about had the race anyway. So really, really great job by everyone. Our Corvette was fast today. Michelin tires held on nicely in these temperatures. You know, they were working hard, but they held on well. So really, really enjoyable race, and great to get our first win of the year.
Headlines are going to be big. The heavyweight title fight goes on to Indianapolis next.
Yeah, it does. Take a look at the points right now, unofficial, of course, but that gap between the 3 and the 81 stretches.
It does a little bit, but it's so tight, Brian, as we know. There's only 50 points between first and third in one single race. 2 Picanderos to come. Only 2 races, but 16 hours of racing left on the championship season.
From GTD Pro winners to GTD, Chris.
How about Windward Racing, their 3rd win of the season? Both drivers' 2nd win here at VIR. Philip Ellis, you did the finishing duties. What was that last stint like, and how were you able to manage the gap and then kind of turn on the jets at the end?
I mean, it wasn't a fun stint. You know, I was hoping for a bit more of a quiet end to the race, but you know, we were lucky that the guys behind were struggling and battling themselves. So I think that's why it looked like we could pull away at the end. Just the guys battling behind us. I couldn't really stay with the guys in front, which was a bit, you know, not the greatest feeling. I was expecting to maybe gain 1 or 2 positions, put some cars in between me. But yeah, super happy with the result. It's just amazing, and that's exactly how we bounce back.
There you go, Windward Racing, big winners here, and a monster statement win in the championship in GTD.
Well, and again, just like in GTD Pro, you look at it, that victory is going to separate the 57 from the 27 now. And where did the 12 go? All the way back to 4th.
Yeah, both championship leaders in the 2 classes consolidate their leads going into that next round at Indianapolis. So lots to think about, but lots of fighting still to come in this championship season.
So does the size of the ring that they're going to battle in stay the same when they go to Indianapolis? Rules going to be the same?
Well, we need consistency, and the law was laid down here today in a big, big way.